Hi everyone, good morning and welcome to Connaught Drive. This is a street that has been pedestrianised since the end of 2021. There are several other streets in Singapore which have been pedestrianised decades ago, but Connaught Drive is perhaps the most radical of them all. Connaught Drive is a place where people hang out and congregate, but it wasn't always this way. Here are some postcards of Singapore I got from Queen Victoria Market. Can you believe that this lawn right outside Victoria Concert Hall used to be surface parking lots? And this street used to be a major east to city thoroughfare? How do you think this place smelled and sounded? Right next to the concert hall is Anderson Bridge, opened in 1910 to replace the nearby Connaught Bridge as it was unable to handle the increasing volumes of pedestrian and vehicular traffic. In 1997, for the same reason, the Esplanade Bridge was opened, which allows people to film their very own stock footage of Singapore, and more importantly, redirected car traffic away from Connaught Drive, leaving its 4 lanes underutilized. Come 2016, access was limited to only buses and special vehicles, like this amphibious bus. Half of Anderson Bridge was pedestrianised, and the previously narrow sidewalks were expanded, leaving the street with just 2 to 3 vehicular lanes. And on 5th November 2021, various statutory boards announced its permanent closure to vehicular traffic. The chief executive of LTA, Ng Lang, pointed out the importance of allowing visitors to enjoy a slice of Singapore's history without having to deal with vehicular traffic. In the days leading up to the reopening of the street, banners promoting walking around the civic district were placed at City Hall and Raffles Place MRT stations, and signs at ground level served as a notice for people driving into the area. On 31st December 2021, Anderson Bridge was fully reopened to people. Within a single night, concrete blocks stopping motor traffic were placed, former lane markings were painted over, and traffic signals were removed from their stems. The slip lane at the eastern end of Connaught Drive was barricaded, making the entire width of the street safe for people to use. There weren't many people as these clips were filmed at 7 AM in the morning, but their benefits start to show in the evening, especially during the Light to Night festival. When I revisited the street in August 2022, all lane markings along Connaught Drive were removed in preparation for upcoming works to make the street look more green. While works are still in progress, the absence of cars has allowed the sounds of nature to return to the city. It also forms a seamless link between the nearby Esplanade Concert Hall, Boat Quay, and the Singapore River. Unlike other pedestrianised streets, Connaught Drive's former purpose as a major car thoroughfare has one hidden advantage. Its wide and forgiving geometry allows it to be converted to a racetrack during the F1 season. But during other times of the year, it's hard to imagine that this place used to be a major car thoroughfare. There are still traces of car brain planning in the city, such as this underpass, which was built in 1964 and is the city's first underpass. And its purpose? Well, so that drivers could drive through this area without having to slow down for people. Far too often, we label such projects as street closures, but I'm of the opinion that they should be called street reopenings, because it's just a closure to motorists, but an opening to many more opportunities. By reopening a street, it becomes a place to hang out, a place of character that's worth visiting and staying at, and a place that empowers people who would otherwise not walk and cycle to do so. It allows people to appreciate nature's scents, with rain trees lining this street since 1880 instead of exhaust fumes. The sight of people having fun instead of people anxiously trying to cross an arterial road. The sounds of human conversation, birds chirping, and children playing instead of motor engines. And it removes invisible barricades that once made the street hard to cross. In the past century, several new bridges were constructed along the Singapore River to accommodate more traffic, from Connaught Bridge to Anderson Bridge, then the Esplanade Bridge, and Jubilee Bridge, which now stands at the mouth of the river. And it makes me wonder, how many more bridges do we need to keep up with traffic? Or would it be just better to make better use of space and create greater places in the CBD? Though I'm so glad that in the CBD that has been largely infested by cars, there's finally a small slice of heaven where I can enjoy some peace and quiet. So if you're walking around City Hall and you're finding a new place to chill at, well, Connaught Drive might be the place for you. Anyway, thanks for watching and have a good morning.